Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing The Founders, the story of PayPal, and the entrepreneurs who shaped Silicon Valley by Jimmy Soni. So a book I enjoyed a lot, and it was something that gave me more details about something that I experienced growing up. The PayPal story really dates back to the late 1990s. I was graduated from high school at that time, and I was starting to play around with computers, and I knew about PayPal, and I've used PayPal personally for business and for different applications throughout my life. And looking at the origin story of it and all the people that were involved, the people who come to be known as the PayPal mafia. So you've got Peter Thiel, Max Levchin, Elon Musk, Reid Hoffman, David Sacks, all of these people who are well known in Silicon Valley now, they all really got their start here with this merger of Confinity and X.com. And this recording, it's going to go on YouTube first, but at some point it will go on X as well, which is a bit meta to think about. But especially because X.com is so different now from what the vision that Musk had for it as a X marks the spot. This is where the world's money will flow through. And X.com now has a different feel. Obviously, it's what took over from Twitter, but all of these minds were together in this early time, trying to build a company that seems clear to us now, but at the time was not obvious. You're going to send money to people by email. Before this, they were talking about using Palm Pilots and beaming money to each other infrared. This is such a limited use case, but it shows you where a great idea can sometimes start from something that sounds silly. So in any case, PayPal came together from a merger of Confinity and X.com. And the merger was violent enough that Musk got ousted. And he didn't really, you listen, you read the interviews in this book, he doesn't really hold it against them. He thinks it was the right thing to do. Eventually, when PayPal is acquired by eBay for 1.5 billion, this is the seed money that goes on to found Tesla and SpaceX. So PayPal is the founding, you could say, of everything that Musk built afterwards because of the funds that he had. And you can see a lot of the trends that would become hallmarks of, let's say, product pushes within Musk, where he's sleeping at the factory, sleeping under the desks, his engineers are sleeping under the desks. And that DNA is an outgrowth of what happened at PayPal. And a lot of the people interviewed for the book talk very fondly about the very best times at PayPal when there was a real culture building the company. Anybody who's worked with PayPal now knows there's no soul to this company. Everything's outsourced. That said, I'm happy with what PayPal has done for various companies that I have it involved for. And in fact, for my Palestine bookshelf project, it's enabled as a donate button. So I'm happy for what it's been able to become. It's very different from where it started. So I think rather than telling you about the book, because each story of the key people, Thiel, Sachs, Levchin, Musk, those are, I think, at the heart of this book. I really want to jump to the end and talk about some of the business lessons that you can think about. And the first one's the obvious one about pivoting. If your business idea is not working, make sure that you move to where the customers are pushing you. And interestingly, Levchin, a number of people did not think that the email sending money idea was a good one. They were in on this Palm Pilot thing that they had tunnel vision on. But the market told them, auction people are using this to settle payments. People love sending money by email. And they thought, okay, well, we're going to build around this. And they, as much as they didn't like to let go of their idea around Palm Pilot, they did. So that the importance of following what the market tells you rather than your own personal beliefs is really important when building a business. Don't let your theories overcome the realities. The realities are what the market is telling you. The market was telling them people wanted to send money by email. People wanted to use this as a payment form for auctions, international auctions. It allowed them to expand internationally. Secondly, they had a really interesting way of hiring people. Particularly Thiel, who's a chess nerd, would ask people brain teasers. and they really focused on referrals. So if I was an engineer, I maybe knew another engineer, then you'd bring them in and make sure they would fit the PayPal culture. And I can't say enough, hiring for cultural fit rather than a specific skill set really matters, because you can train people or push them into different areas in your company, but you can't teach culture. Culture is something you either get or you don't. And early on, PayPal made sure they brought on people who really bought in, and that's, I think, what helped drive the train. Things that we take for granted now came from the PayPal era of trying to figure out not just fraud, but how to conduct a how to how to create banking operations online. So two things: CAPTCHA, which is what you might be used to, prove that you're a human. You know, look at these letters, look at these motorcycles, all the different versions of CAPTCHA we have now. That came from PayPal trying to automate against bots. They were trying to find ways to trick these bots. So the whole CAPTCHA, you could say, genre comes from work that PayPal did. Fascinating. I did not know that before. I also didn't know the two micro deposits in the US ACH system also came from PayPal. It was a way for them to validate you had access to the bank account without worrying about you mailing stuff and signature cards and all of that. That how could we do this online, making two deposits? You verify the amounts of the deposits. Great. And so they had to innovate not only to create the ability to bank online, but also to guard against fraud. They also had a really viral growth, and I'm sure I took advantage of it on more than one occasion, because it wasn't limited to people, it was limited to email addresses. So you could get $10 for referring a friend to PayPal. If they signed up, you would get $10, they would get $10. And I'm sure, just speaking for myself, I think I signed up with two or three different email accounts, and there was no way for PayPal at the time to guard against it. And we were so excited. It was money that came out of the air, high school kids, that we could get this $10, and who knows how we'd spend it. But we were part of PayPal developing, and I remember really enjoying that. Whatever, PayPal was just one aspect of how the web was developing, very much web 1.0 or even like 0.5. It maybe wasn't even 1.0. But what comes out of this is a crucible of people who had to learn how to raise capital, how to lead mergers, how to then get acquired, how to take a company public. And then they took those skills and went into a number of other areas. Now, the bad side of the story is obviously Peter Thiel and Palantir and everything he's doing for a global surveillance state and helping the Israelis commit genocide. I can't be excited about that. So I can't abstract and say, oh, look at all these great business lessons. Some of the victories of this PayPal story have been used for great evil. And then you have something banal on the other end, something like Reid Hoffman starting LinkedIn, sort of the opposite of leading genocide, just a boring business networking website. But what's key, I think, for anyone who's building something, you don't have to build something as world-changing as PayPal to follow these lessons, to surround yourself with people who really believe in what you're doing, who are really committed, who are bought into the culture, and who are willing to grow and learn and follow the market instead of their own ideas, and build something great together. And it doesn't need to be for billions of dollars so that you can then influence governments later on in your life. It can be just because you want to provide a living for yourself and for your family and for your employees. That is perfectly good enough. Even if you have no employees and if you have no family and you just want to provide yourself, that's good enough. Even if you don't want to provide for yourself, but you just want to earn some side hustle money or to get the experience, that is good enough. The point is that you have to care. And what was so fascinating about reading this, knowing that the PayPal experience now is so different and so corporate and sanitized and offshored, knowing that the people at the beginning of the story really cared is what built something that was able to be a change agent on the internet and then led to an acquisition. What happened after that, that's another story. People can build great things if you put your mind to it, you work hard. As I said, it doesn't need to be as world-changing as PayPal. It can be something simple. You just have to set your mind to it and gather your tribe around you. So I will put a link to this book in the description if you'd like to get a copy of it. That's one of the ways that you can support this channel. An easy way that you can support the channel, as always, hit like, subscribe, share this with people, whatever format you're watching this on. It will help grow the channel and get this out to more people. If you would like to thank me for this presentation, there's links to PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. You can send a donation that way, or if you'd like to get early access to videos like this one, as well as a once a month exclusive video where I share what I'm reading, what I'm thinking. Just for the paid subscribers, there's links to YouTube membership as well as Patreon. You can choose either platform. The benefits are the same. If you want to nominate a book for the future for me to cover, there's a link to my Amazon wish list. There's books about Palestine. That's for my Palestine bookshelf project. If you'd like to check that out, obviously, but books that are not on Palestine or for this channel, buy one, send it my way, and I'll do my best to review it in a timely manner. Until next time, enjoy your reading.